Good evening, my name is Garrett and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from 5 & 20 Spirits. This is their straight bourbon whiskey, coming in at a 45% ABV, at least 2-year age statement. So for full disclosure, I did reach out to 5 & 20 for a review sample. They were kind enough to send this over, so just keeping that transparency going. With how big the spirit industry is right now, uniqueness or different processes always catch my eye. Rather that's a different kind of grain, certain kind of cask, or a different kind of aging process. However, what 5 & 20 Spirits is doing is that they're actually locally sourcing all of their grains. All of it's grown right in New York. And they also tell us a mash bill on this, which comprises of 70% estate New York corn, 15% New York rye, and 15% barley malt. And I love seeing that grain to glass movement here and being very transparent on that process. So let's get into things. As always, we're trying it 2 different ways. First way, neat, no ice, no water. Second way, we'll add a drop of water, see what changes up. And as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hang around for a bit. And if you're interested in anything that they're doing over at 5 & 20 Spirits, I'll be putting a link for them up above and down below. Definitely go check them out. They also do, I believe they also do wine. I know they have a limoncello. They have their own estate rye as well. Right. There we go. Beautiful shaped bottle. I like the kind of tall square bottles. We don't see these too often, at least not in my market. Right. There we go. Ooh, it's kind of jumping out of the glass already. Right. Got a good color to it for being only 2 years old. I feel like it's got a good color on that. Nice kind of a light brown, almost not quite amber. Nice light brown golden color. Well, let's go for notes. Ooh, yeah. Sweet. That is caramel sweet in there. Bit of floral. That rye spice is nice. I'm also getting that craft whiskey note, which a lot of times I kind of point that towards a well-aged piece of furniture in an antique store that's got like that layer of varnish and shellac over it. Well kept. It's not musty or anything like that, but it just got that bit of craft going on in here. Definitely you can tell the corn going on. It's got a corn dusty note in there, but it's very soft. The vanilla's coming out, the caramel's there. That corn is playing really good with that rye spice. I don't think I've had anything specifically made with New York rye, so it's definitely a different take. It's not quite medicinal, not quite herbal, but almost floral. And to kind of put it all together, it's got that nice simple barrel note on there, a little bit of oak. Very classic, but that floral, and again, I'm going to assume that's from the rye, is playing really well here with that craft note. Well, let's go for taste. Ooh, that's really good. Beautiful spikes on here. Wow. It doesn't taste young necessarily. How they're aging this in New York with that profile. It's sweet. Like bricks of the caramel bites. I just munch on those. Those, but it's got this beautiful round spice note like cinnamon and clove. Not quite baking spice notes, but it's got that beautiful, robust spice going on. Again, for only being 24 months, it's got no real youth notes there. I was really expecting to pick out maybe some sharpness or an ABV note, but it's got nothing like that. It almost reminds me of it's got a bit of smokiness in there. Nothing like a peated element, nothing like that, but this kind of a charry note. I think it's more charry than smoky, definitely. But it's got a nice, well-rounded profile to that. And even here on my third sip, it's got a good warmth to it. I love what that bit of rye in there is doing. I'd be very interested to try their straight rye, because if only 15% brought across those flavors, I can only imagine what the higher percentage of rye does. Honestly, that is a really good sip. I enjoy that craft note, that varnish and shellac on antique furniture that comes across, and this definitely has that. And maybe it's from the type of corn it is, I don't know, but it's really, really good. Even here in the finish, it doesn't linger long, and that's probably because of its age. And again, that's expected. It's only 2 years old at this point. But I have to say that is a simple, classic, but it also has that craft twist to it. It's good. All right. Let's add a little bit of water. See what changes up here. Even here, I'm still enjoying that almost sweet corn. It's like a sweet, buttery corn note. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's more like popcorn, like caramel popcorn, like homemade caramel popcorn. That's what it's reminding me of. That's really unique. But it's not like a store-bought kind of caramel popcorn. Like if you go to like a fairgrounds or something that makes it right there in the big kettles and they put caramel right over it right then. It's good stuff. But that's what it's reminding me of now. All right, let's go for notes on the water version. Ooh, it just got sweeter. Oh man, I'm getting more of that smoky element on the nose now. It's just a light smokiness on that nose. The craft note is still there, so you're still getting that bit of oak with the varnish across it. Sweet. Very, very sweet comparatively. The rye spice is very subtle in the water version. It's still there, but it's just peeking through. Oh, that's getting good. Strange enough, that's almost reminding me of like I might have to do some A/B comparisons with it. For some reason, my brain is going to like Balcones' pot still because it's got that just craft note, but it's so inviting on that. That barley is kind of showing up in there just a little bit. It's very soft, but it is starting to peek out a bit on the water version. Let's go for taste. That's actually really good too. Drink's very thin. That's expected. Usually, again, when you have a younger whiskey and you add water to it, it makes it go very thin. And it does. It's not bad. I don't think that's a bad taste at all. It speed runs its flavors, though. So you're going to get that quick craft note, a bit of spice, that little bit of barley is showing up on the taste now. The craft note is what's really taking the forefront, though. So you're getting that oak and that shellac and the bit of spice and then the oak, and then it's kind of done at that point. Still no youth notes to it. I don't know if I would have guessed this was 2 years on the taste. That's got so much more character to it now. Definitely the almost smoky charry note is coming through a little bit stronger on the neat version. But surprisingly, that's not bad. I'm going to assume this probably will hold up in a mix or two if you make an old fashioned with it. As always, it doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. I think the neat version is amazing. This isn't bad at all, though. I was expecting to go a lot more thin and speedrun flavors even more, but it doesn't do that. It actually holds up pretty well in that. So, all right, let's talk about market price, because we all know market price is market price, and it's always going to vary. You know, on their website and a few places I've searched around, this tends to be in about the $38 to $45 range, right around in those price points. And honestly, I think that's a fine enough price. Usually with craft distillers, you're going to pay that little bit of craft tax, of what I call it. When I visit somewhere local, I can never expect a smaller distillery to always be able to go up against the big boys like Maker's Mark or any of the others. But I have to say, I would love to see this when it gets some more age on it even. At 2 years, this is really good. I can't imagine what 4 years looks like, and 6 years or a cask strength version. I love the grain to glass movement. Using your resources that are around you in a state makes you stand out a little different. And they're doing pot stills. They're going through all the process. And for a 2-year-old bourbon, I give it a good thumbs up. I'd have no problem paying $40 for this. And heck, I'd probably pay a little bit more. I wouldn't go $60+ or anything crazy like that. But if you could pick this up for like 40-ish range, I think that's acceptable enough. I don't have any plights against it at that price range. And again, if you're interested in picking yourself up a bottle or learning a little bit more about 5 and 20 spirits, a link for them will be down in the description below. Go show them some love. And there you have it, folks. 5 and 20 spirit straight bourbon whiskey. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirit I should go looking for, also let me know down below. Love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.